I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft, and I'd like to take a moment and address the content of this program. It is no secret that we are living through trying times, and as such I feel it is incumbent on programs like myself to be responsible in what information we provide. For too long we've allowed ourselves to indulge in unnecessary whimsical fiddle-faddle, and I say no more. From here on out, we are going to do our utmost to only provide the most necessary, the most serious content to help you at home weather this particular storm. Now, with that out of the way, today's question comes from a young viewer who wants to know my thoughts on the Marvel comic books character Venom. If you're unfamiliar, Venom is a black Icarus creature from the stars, a symbiote, a parasite who's most often associated with the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Although, to truly understand Venom, you have to understand the Secret Wars. And unfortunately, no one understands the Secret Wars, not even the creators of the Secret Wars themselves. But what I find fascinating about this character, this Venom, is how he was introduced. Originally, he wasn't a villain in and of himself, but rather he was merely this black substance that attached itself to Spider-Man and became his costume. Indeed, for a while they had Spider-Man eschew the red and blue tights and instead run around in this black sable attire. Part of the reason for this was the writers of the Spider-Man books wanted to come up with a reason why he would be getting into all these fights and scrapes and wind up with tears and cuts all over his costume, and then in the next issue they would all be healed up. They would be nice and perfect. And they decided that having him wearing some sort of sentient alien fetish wear was more reasonable and relatable than him just learning how to sew. Now, I see why people might think I am particularly fascinated with Venom. I, of course, wrote about strange, unhuman creatures from beyond the stars, and Venom certainly fits the mold there, but what I find more compelling is how different he is from those creations of mine. I enjoyed exploring what made things inhuman, things that had no connection with the human race, whereas Venom, by contrast, is very much about connection. Indeed, in one of the origins of Venom, they posit that his race of other symbiotes cast him away because instead of just consuming his hosts, he became too attached to them, too connected with them. And indeed, much of the anger and hatred he has for the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is due to Spider-Man having rejected him out of hand. It's like a broken friendship, and I think the ability of comic books to tell these sort of stories, where you've got Norse gods and strange wizards and alien clothing all working together, battling it out, telling stories, it's very exciting. And I commend them for their flexibility. Venom is also a very useful character in these particular epidemiological times, as he is a very good object lesson in why it's important to always and thoroughly wash one's hands. As always, I'm Howard Phillips Lovecraft. Thank you.